Today we're talking about cameras, and this is the Sony FX30. So I've had this camera for like a year and a half now, and I really want to share my honest truth about it. And I do want to clarify up front that I have no affiliation with Sony at all. This video is not sponsored, so you're going to be getting a full, unbiased opinion. It's been a while. It is so cold. Woo. My gosh. So I primarily only bought this camera for YouTube and vlogging. And let me just say without any hesitation, it's still one of my favorite cameras to this day. Released in September 2022, the FX30 still remains relevant and reliable. I still see a lot of creators buying it on YouTube and off of YouTube. Honestly, I don't plan on switching cameras anytime soon unless, Sony wants to work with me. Sony, give me a call. But all the footage that you're seeing on today's episode is entirely shot on the FX30. I don't have an extra FX30 on hand, so I'll be using my old nostalgia camera for B-roll. You'll definitely notice the difference. But let's head back to the studio so I can dive deeper into why I do like this FX30 and some of its cons. I don't want to add any BS in here, so let's go. It's cold out there. I'm very glad that I'm doing a video inside the studio today. I just want to apologize in advance if you hear any sirens. I do live in the city. So the FX30 does shoot in 4K, but it does have an APS-C sensor, which is not full frame. But if you're a creator that likes a nice image but doesn't want to break the bank, then this is a nice little system here. It does shoot in a wide range of FPSs. You get like 24, 29, 30, 60, 120, but that 120 is cropped at 1.6. And if you're shooting at 1080, it can shoot at 240 frames per second, but that is cropped also. All right, let's get into those tally lights. So I primarily bought this camera for its tally lights. And if you don't know what tally lights are, it's just a little reminder to tell you that the camera is recording. Right now, I do know when the camera is recording because one, it does have a little light above the A telling me that it is recording. Now, if I shift my focus onto the LED screen, it does have a red border around the screen telling me that it is recording as well. Now, when I'm behind the camera, it has a little LED light indicating it is recording. It is so good when you're a solo creator like myself, or you just need a reminder. Now, another great feature that this camera offers is its mounting holes. Every which way you turn this camera, it has a hole for an accessory. That can be a mic, a tripod, a gimbal. If you're a vertical creator, you can turn this camera vertically for your short form content. Very versatile for your needs. And I don't really need a cage because it has all those mounting holes. So this just fits my needs perfect. The FX30 does use an E-mount type for its lenses. And I found that there's a lot of options out there. From cheap to very expensive. Once you get in those G Master lenses, it gets pretty pricey. But I found that the 10 to 18 millimeter lens for vlogging suits me super well. It has that nice wide looking shot, and if I need that zoom to emphasize what I'm saying, it's there. Then for B-roll, I use a 28-70 so I can really punch in on things if I need to as well. Personally, I have two lenses that are on my radar right now, and that is a Sony 11mm lens at a 1.8. Then the other lens is a cinema lens, and that is a 50mm at a T105 made by 7 Artisans. If I buy either one of those lenses, I'll make a review on it, but I just find that I love making cinematic vlogs, and whatever suits my needs to help me shoot that and create that, then that's where I'm happy. And for you, if you're trying to find a lens, just do your bunch of research on YouTube and find that particular lens that will help you create something awesome. All right, let's talk about that dual multi-card reader. Now, if you're doing a lot of traveling, or if you're a vlogger or someone that needs a lot of storage in their camera, this camera can hold up to 4 cards at one time. Now, this camera does take regular SD cards. Focus, focus, focus. And it takes CF Express Type A. Now these get super expensive, so I just recommend regular SD cards to save you money. But you can hold up to 2 of these and 2 of these at one time. Super nice. I found that it's super convenient when you're on the go. Being a content creator, I often hear a lot from other creators that their cameras overheat. And this camera has a built-in fan. If you're a podcaster or a streamer, someone who just needs a camera that sits there for a while but doesn't overheat, this camera has an internal fan to keep that camera nice and cool while filming. I noticed a lot of cameras don't have that. I never had an overheating issue. Now, I travel from Boston to New York City quite frequently, and having something lightweight to get in and out of the city is super clutch. I could break down this camera within minutes and be on the go, and I found that really convenient. This camera isn't a big camera at all, but once you start putting bigger lenses on, that's where it starts to get pretty big. This is the point where we talk about the not so good. There isn't much, to be honest, but what I did find is it's noise in dark environments. Low light performance isn't this camera's strongest suit. I found that shooting in darker environments creates some noise, and even filming blacks sometimes creates a lot of noise, which can be a deal breaker for some creators if you're a night shooter. Now there's some ways around it, shooting at lower f-stops, creating more light in your sensor. That can be fixed, but overall, sometimes not all lenses have lower apertures, so that's the con. Now, the second thing is its battery life. I primarily shoot with 2 batteries, but I feel like I need more. I'm always right there after I'm done shooting, and it's not really a bad thing, but these batteries can be very expensive. So that's another little I don't like about it. But the more batteries you do have, the better. So I'm not really complaining on that part. But that's all I really found, to be honest. Like, if there was anything wrong with the camera, I would seriously let it be known, because I do not like biased reviews, and I feel like I find a lot of that on YouTube, so yeah. So why the FX30? Well, I feel like it fits my needs super well. And if you're a vlogger or someone who wants to make YouTube videos, I feel like this camera has a lot to offer. I look at this camera as a tool, and this tool helps me creatively by making these videos. I never want to double think about my gear. I just simply want to create what's in my head and share it out into the world without any hiccups. So the main question you're asking yourself, should you buy the FX30? If you want my honest take, here it is. I was gonna buy the FX3, which is the bigger brother to this camera. The reason why I stopped myself is for 2 main reasons. One is its price point. The FX3 sits around $4,000, while the FX30 sits around $1,800. That extra $2,000 bought me a new lens, bought me a new microphone, bought me a new tripod. If I were to buy the FX3, I wouldn't have any budget to buy those things. I would just have a body. So that's why I stopped myself. And then number two is, yes, you do have a full frame sensor on the FX3, but I don't find myself shooting at night or low light situations at all. So that's why I pointed myself more to the FX30, because I do shoot in daylight and just natural lighting settings. So I just saved myself $2,000 from that. If you're a vlogger, content creator, or someone who just wants to make videos on YouTube, I feel like this camera shines. It's durable, it's lightweight, and the image that it still offers, it's super crisp. For being 2 years old, this camera is still a beast. If you have any comments or concerns, let me know down in the comments down below. I'll answer them. If I missed anything, let me know too.